The legend goes something like this. When Prohibition kicks in, 22-year-old Alphonse Capone, with astute business acumen and not a few bullets, builds a financial empire built on booze. Through bribery and payoffs, Capone becomes invincible. If you believe that, you're drinking too much bootleg whiskey. Let's start with the idea that Prohibition is what turns Capone into a crime boss. Capone, who got his nickname Scarface after being sliced with a knife during a fight, is big in organized crime before booze is banned.
There's this myth that Al Capone really made himself because of Prohibition. I think, more accurately, it made him a fortune because of Prohibition.
And while Prohibition and bootlegging certainly expanded his criminal empire, he probably made more money the old-fashioned way through prostitution and gambling.
We also have this impression that Capone's criminal empire is taken down by the tough-as-nails Eliot Ness and his squeaky clean team of untouchables, who refuse to be bought off. Instead, they smash Capone's bootlegging business and eventually bring the crime boss to justice.
Eliot Ness is portrayed as this fearless, incorruptible crime fighter who is paired against the most vicious, the most powerful criminal of the Prohibition era, Al Capone, and it was the great Eliot Ness who brought down Al Capone and his criminal empire.
Not quite. While Ness and his untouchables put a huge dent in Capone's profits by taking sledgehammers to his stills, the real hero of this story is a bookish accountant working for the Bureau of Internal Revenue.
The guy who was responsible for bringing down Al Capone was not a dashing, fearless, gun-wielding crime fighter. He was a bespectacled, balding, kind of Mr. Peepers-looking accountant, Frank Wilson.
Wilson tracks down the illegal sources of Capone's income and meticulously builds a tax evasion case against the crime boss. But Wilson isn't the only one to cook Capone's goose. There's also U.S. Judge James H. Wilkerson.
Wilkerson also did something absolutely extraordinary. It was found out that Al Capone, not surprisingly, was bribing and intimidating jurors. How do you stop that? At the very last minute, the judge switched juries and brought in an absolutely fresh jury from another trial that Capone didn't know about, obviously, and had not intimidated or bribed.
The intelligence over muscle and bullets beat Al Capone. It was the intellectuals, not the brawny guys.